Hey guys, what's up? Skib137 coming at you with the 13th edition of the Goalkeeper News. My friend reminded me this week that I think it was 2 weeks ago, I missed a video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make another video, upload it today, so I can make up for the missed video. So, since my friend reminded me, I went, well, since you reminded me, do you want to give me a topic specifically that I can talk about? So, him not being a goalkeeper, he didn't understand this whole roll finger, negative cut, what the hell am I on about stuff. So he just asked me if I would kind of enlighten people that may not be a goalkeeper that watch these videos, and himself, that what type of glove fits best for this kind of person. So, obviously I've mentioned in the past, I'm a huge fan of roll finger. The reason I'm a fan of roll finger is because I find it a more fitting cut for my hand, because of that I've got quite long, thin fingers compared to some of my friends who've probably got a bit wider fingers. So obviously as a roll finger pinches in, let me grab this. I've got my Just for Keepers Pro glove here. Obviously, as you can see, the latex pinches in at it, so I find it a much better fit. As you can see, my fingers fit in that quite well, so they kind of just fit in better for me. It's a wider, because I've got quite a wide palm as well. It feels a lot nicer on the outside of my hands just because it's more comfy, but obviously everyone has their own favourites. So yeah, that's a roll finger type. I'll go on to negative cuts. Negative cuts, obviously, the stitching's on the inside of the glove. This type of glove is starting to become more popular with goalkeepers nowadays, just because more pros are beginning to wear it and they seem to like the fit and the feel, and that most people tell, or that I know, say that negative cut, there's more latex to ball contact just because of how the stitching and the latex is put on the outside of the glove. But I'd say negative cut is normally for people with like a lot more broader hands than mine, and a lot like thicker fingers, like not as in like that way, not as in the depth of it, but the width, just because of how it lies. It's kind of like a flat palm glove. It just gives a wider space for the fingers to sit in. So obviously I'm not a negative cut fan. I've not ever really been. I'll wear negative cut, but it's not my favourite. Going on to flat palm. Flat palm amongst goalkeepers is never really liked. I don't know why. I've never really liked flat palm gloves ever. There's no specific reason. I just don't like how they feel. Obviously, roll finger, it's quite padded around the fingers. Negative cut, it sometimes fits a tighter fit, and then flat palm's just kind of the one in between. It's kind of not so tight that it feels comfortable, but it's not so padded that it feels comfortable. If you kind of get what I mean. But it's normally as like flat palm with negative cut, it's generally made for keepers with broader hands and broader fingers, just because of how wide the gaps are at the fingers and how broad the hand will be, just because it's a straight down shape rather than having to tuck in. Most people who use flat palm gloves will either just be a goalkeeper who rarely becomes a goalkeeper, or it's for, I think it's normally for like kids, because having kids with little, like, they're just starting to learn, you don't want to be buying them a pair of gloves that are like, 60 quid. So, you know, that's kind of that. Also, recently they've brought on a new type of glove. It's called a hybrid cut, which involves it's either flat or roll finger, index and pinky finger, and then a negative cut, ring finger and a middle finger. I think, if I've got it here, it's right. It tells me that now the above is just a rule of thumb, and to be honest, the only way you'll ever know what goalkeeper club palm is right is to try them on. So I've never tried a hybrid, but I'm guessing it'll be for people who tend to have thinner index and pinky finger. I just did that complete wrong way around. Pinky and index, and then a bit thicker ring and middle finger. It's just to kind of compensate for if some people have that kind of like structure in the hands and stuff, and it'll probably be quite a broad glove, obviously due to the negative cut. But everyone's got their own preferences. Mine's obviously roll finger. Someone who watches this video maybe negative cut or flat palm. I don't know, but it's your own choice. Find a glove that's comfortable for you and stick with it. I recommend. Changing gloves too often can seem to, like, it messes up the way you feel for the ball. Obviously, I've got my Just for Keepers Pro and my F-Line Ultimate End Golds, which one is a negative roll and one is a roll finger, so I'm not changing the type of glove that often. It's still both roll finger. So yeah, if you've got any questions again, leave them down below. If you want me to explain anything in an email, send it me via YouTube, Twitter, and I will answer the questions as quick as I can. But yeah, it's been the 13th edition of the Goalkeeper News, and I hope you've enjoyed it.